Hey there, Brandon.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. I've got to figure out how to turn this beat off.
Huh.
Only me, right?
No comment.
Is it like really loud?
No. It just sounds like it's being played through a phone.
I can't get it to stop. That's okay. We can tell him how this is one of your beats.
Yeah, it's one of mine. Yeah.
Hey, Dirk Pickler. Good morning. Hey, Monique. Sand Dancer. Beautiful people of YouTube. Brandon, you have, what's that called where all your music is on?
SoundCloud.
Yeah, Brandon's got a lot of music on SoundCloud. His music has made some pretty big headway in the past.
Yeah. Here and there.
People have bought his beats and it's been on some music.
Yes.
But we won't talk about that because Lord knows people will pick it apart and try to figure it out and ruin it.
That's fine.
It's whatever.
That's what I mean.
Oh, there we go. It stopped.
Very nice.
Very nice. Yes. I like that beat. That's like one of my favorites.
Yeah. Everyone I've played that for seems to like it.
Yeah. Okay, so for those that don't know or that haven't followed my channel for very long, if you go through all of my moon videos, hold on real quick. Hey, poodles, let's chill. This isn't the time to play. Let's take a nappy. How about that?
We like naps.
Okay, so in all of my moon videos is Brandon's music. Brandon's music even made it to a country singer, and he used some of Brandon's music before.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'll talk about much more of it, but yeah.
It's
very
out
cool.
there.
Yeah, it is. It is. Your name is even on as a producer on a
Yeah. On a couple projects, yeah.
Yeah.
So is.
It show is. So how are we, Brandon?
Pretty good. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Well, hey, Potty Mouth Mama. Good morning. Dirk Pickler says, hey, Brandon, do you ever do calming beats? I'm trying to find something to help calm my sister in the evenings.
Yeah, I got all kinds of it. I just got to put it online to where people can hear it. A lot of it's just sitting on my phone. But yeah, I do.
It's not even on your phone, hon. It's on 3 laptops that have been fried.
True. Very true.
We have some of the good ones, though. Hey, Bailey Vexed. I love you with all my heart.
And we're about to be on to laptop number 4 here soon, hopefully.
Good. You need to go get that thing. And then you need to buy your wife a laptop.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Brandon has to have a laptop first, though, because of his music. And then Sarah comes next.
We'll see. Sometimes it works that way.
Be nice to me.
I'll try.
Okay, so the reason that we're going live today is because Brian St. John did a live, and I was on his live for a few minutes because, he put out some false information, and it triggered me. I ain't even going to lie. I was triggered, madder than hell. you can't slander someone repeatedly saying that they are my drug dealer. That's not acceptable. There's no proof to that. There's no facts to that. Brandon, is it true?
No.
Not at all. You know, and then Laura was on that same panel yesterday, and she said that I am not in my right frame of mind. Let me reiterate to everyone that yes, I did slip. I had a relapse, yes, but it was short-lived. You know, it's not like I went on a binge. Brandon, was this a binge? You've seen me binge.
No. Not
Like
even close.
Yeah, not even close. There was no opiates involved, nothing. It was just, you know, um, Xanax and Klonopin. So, you know, Brandon and I had a little bit of um, I screwed up, you know, and it wasn't easy, you know. We worked through it though, and we're doing just fine. There's been rumors that, you know, Brandon will never come home to me because I'm such a piece of shit, or, you know, people have even said that I'm going to cause Brandon to relapse. What do you think about that one, Brandon?
As usual.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of people, they just seem to maybe not understand addiction or understand recovery and how all that works. And that's fine. You know, it's not something that people would go after unless they needed to, or would try to understand unless they needed to. So first and foremost, can't nobody get me high or drunk but me.
Right.
There's nothing anyone can do that could, I mean, it's just not possible. That would all be based on sort of my program and what I'm doing to try to maintain a program of recovery. But that's, you know, once again, we're dealing with old stigma, especially in the United States, of how people think addiction and relapse work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
You
pretty
know,
normal. But
I've been made fun of. I've been the brunt of jokes for, you know, weeks because of this. And I think it's because, you know, I am pretty sensitive and I cry a lot. I'm a huge crier. I am not one of those people that believes that if you cry, you're weak. That's not how it is. You know, I I learned a long time ago that showing emotion is healthy. And that's for everybody. You know what I mean? Hey, Rebel Rose. So I want to start off by playing, we're going to do like a little bit of reaction, right? And I wanted Brandon here to kind of take part in this with me because I want to get his views on it. You know, since everybody knows my business and all, and since everybody's all up in my marriage and, you know, everything about me, I figured, well, why not bring Brandon up and see his reaction to the reaction we're about to play. Are you ready, Mr. Pete?
I'm ready.
Okay. Let me get to it.
I know, right?
Well, I'm not going to take the blame for any relapse of anybody.
No, absolutely not. And you're 100% right in some of the things you said. Mm-hmm. But here's what I want to say. Mm-hmm. I have said from day one, she'll never get sober. You want to know why?
Laura said, I will never get sober. Let's keep playing. I just wanted to reiterate what she said. Let's keep going.
Why? Because she hasn't changed her fucking ways.
Okay. That's problematic right there. She hasn't changed her ways. How does Laura know what I do outside of YouTube? How does she know what meetings I go to, how long I'm there? How does she know what I'm doing to maintain my sobriety?
Here's my thing, and I've said all this with her in the past. It's very obvious to me that this is someone who maybe doesn't understand addiction and recovery.
Well, she's already said many times, Brandon, that she doesn't do the 12 steps of recovery. She doesn't do AA. AA didn't work for her.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
The thing, okay, first and foremost, if Sarah was using, you would not be listening to her right now. She wouldn't be on the live. If I was using, I wouldn't even have a cell phone. At least not this one.
I'm telling you what, I'd be on Gettysburg Avenue.
And that's what people don't understand. They don't
Yeah.
understand the degree in which, you know, that's a lifestyle for us. We're not people who just, you know, in the past when we were active in addiction, just kind of started and stopped when we wanted. Well, you know, I just used for a month. I think I'll stop now. It doesn't work that way. Like when she said, "You'll never get sober," what the hell are you right now?
Right.
I don't get it. I just don't think she understands to what degree our lifestyles are like when we're using.
Let me tell you what recovery is for me. Recovery, okay, let's say that I used to do a lot of cocaine, right?
Sure.
Okay. And I used it a lot. Like I just couldn't stop myself. And then someone says, well, hey, I know how to get you some Adipec or what's that called?
Which one?
Adderall.
Yeah.
I know how I can teach you how to talk your doctor into giving you some of that. And so this person takes that medication, Adderall, so much that she runs out 15 days before she gets a refill. Okay. Adderall is not supposed to get you high if you don't have ADHD. Wait, did I say that right?
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyways, what I'm saying is that cocaine and Adderall are both stimulants. Hey,
No.
bless this mess. Thank you so much.
Cocaine's a stimulant. Adderall is a amphetamine.
Okay, but they're similar.
Very
They're
similar. Yes, yes.
Bless this mess says, why is your sobriety anyone's business? And why is it being used as content? Knock it off. Do better. I'm sorry, Sarah, or anyone struggling. We do recover. Yes, we do, my friend. We really do. And I'm just going to keep playing this because it mind boggled me and it had me so upset yesterday. I was shaking because it was ignorant.
Being sober isn't just about putting down the drug. It's about changing your ways.
Okay. She says, being sober, it's about changing your ways. Let's talk about that. People, places, and things. Yes, I had to change all those. I'm not new to recovery. I've been doing this for years and years and years, okay? I know my 12 steps. I know how to work a program. It's not like I'm new to this and I'm insulted that she thinks she knows it all and she knows about my recovery and my relapse. It's none of her damn business. She jumped on that panel yesterday just to throw some digs at me.
She hasn't changed one thing. So I said a long time ago she was going to do it again. You trying to play.
So therefore she predicted my relapse. Why is she so invested in my sobriety? Why was she thinking about me relapsing a long time ago? What business was that of hers?
First of all,
yeah,
I've listened to her enough to be able to tell you that she's the type of person that always has all the answers.
Mm-hmm.
I have never ever heard her say, "I don't know. I'm not familiar with this topic. Let me get the information, then I'll come back to you." She always has an answer. So she knows everything, which is
That's
fine.
called narcissism.
Maybe she's a genius, right? Maybe she does know everything.
Hey, Makeup Mobster, Ash274, Sin, Gone Girl.
The issue, once again, is she has these definitions for addiction and recovery that make no sense. This is the same person, and I saw the footage, who was drinking on her live, had a drink in hand, and was telling people what they should do with their 12-step program, what they should do with sponsorship. When she did that, I quit listening. There's nothing else she's going to be able to say. I don't hear her because it's very obvious. If I run down to the buffet right now and fill up my plate with cupcakes and carbohydrates and all this stuff and sit there and tell people how to lose weight, if I was walking around the buffet saying, "Hey, do you need help losing weight?" and sat there and ate cupcakes in front of them, they would probably think I was a little crazy. They'd probably ask me to leave.
I love you, the potty mouth mama. I think you have so much strength. You have way more strength than I do. I admire you. I'm just going to say that. I absolutely admire you. And if anyone hasn't, this is a shameless plug. If anyone hasn't looked at my community post, go look at my community post and see the candle that the Potty Mouth Mama is selling. It smells amazing. And the way it was packaged was great. And I just love the Potty Mouth Mama. I always have. I've known her a long time. She was one of the first people I met when I came into this community, and I have a lot of respect for her. So, okay. Hey, Makeup Mobster. Okay, so I'm going to keep playing this.
All right.
She's a walking fucking hypocrite.
I'm a walking fucking hypocrite.
Once again,
What am I
drink
being?
in hand, telling people what to do with their 12-step program.
Right.
While drinking, but someone else is a walking hypocrite.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
She says one thing to you and then says, but words hurt. But I can say whatever I want to you. It's not even worth your time.
I know.
She is a trigger for any drug addict.
I am a trigger for any drug addict. I'm
honey,
a trigger.
Once again, she's probably never going to see your program. Like, I'm 99% sure she's never going to see the people you help, the people you talk to, all the times you've sat on the phone with somebody and tried to help them through something. I know that. You know that. And that's really the only people that need to know that.
Yeah, and that's
You know what I'm
the
saying?
thing. When you do a good deed, you don't have to brag about it. In fact, there's no need to brag about it because you do it out of the goodness of your heart because someone did it for you when you were struggling or when I was struggling.
Absolutely.
She has no idea how many times we have paid it forward. She has no idea where we have helped people. She has no idea how many times you've gone to a stadium full of people, not stadium, but a room full of people and talked about your story and had them in tears.
Right.
You know?
Right. Because I believe she doesn't know what she's talking about.
No, she doesn't at all. She thinks she does, but she doesn't. When it comes to recovery, I'm going to say it loud and proud. She has no idea what she's talking about.
She's like that with a lot of topics. She seems to know all this stuff about it. You know, and that's fine. Like I said, maybe she's a genius.
Shit.
But in this situation, it's obvious to me this is a person who does not know what they're talking about. She came to us one time and said that you and I shouldn't be together because it's against the rules.
Yeah.
And I said to her, okay, can you show us the rules? Can you show like where it says that? And she just kept repeating that I should know where the rules are. Okay, well show me. Show me where.
Yeah, and that was a huge topic in the community for about a week, that it's so wrong for a counselor to have a relationship or to get married to a, help me out, my brain.
Client or patient.
Client, yes. Yeah. Okay, I need everyone to know that Brandon was my counselor, yes, but I did not meet up with him until after I was out of the rehab program, and we met at a
meeting.
Yes. Sorry, you guys. Sometimes my brain doesn't fire all the way, and Brandon always is there to finish my sentences. It's funny. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I get like that. When I get worked up, I can't get my sentences out right. You guys know that because you guys have listened to me talk for how long now? There's so many people in this community that literally finish my sentences for me. Trish is one of them. Okay, so let's keep playing this.
She really is. Because I'm listening to her and I'm thinking, the fucking excuses are unreal.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no excuses. Okay? There is absolutely no excuse. I take full responsibility for the fact that I took those Xanax. I took those Klonopins. I did that. That's not an excuse. That's me being honest. That's me being straightforward about what I did. And it's people like Brian and Perplexed and all the other ones over there that are making fun of addictions, relapses. It's people like you that are going to keep other people silent and not want to reach out to find help because they'll be afraid that you're going to make fun of them like you did me. Am I right or am I wrong, Brandon?
No, and it'll never change because they believe they already have all the answers. So why would they go seek anything different?
And they believe they are above all. I don't know how many times I've heard Laura say, well, they are bottom feeders. They are trash.
Yeah, I've heard it too. I've watched her constantly judge people and try to put people on this scale no one cares about, whether
Right.
so and so's better than this person or who cares?
It's YouTube. We're all here to interact. Some of us might not like one another, but we are all equal. Okay? Like, just because you have a better, bigger house does not mean you're better than us. Just because you go on vacations 5 times a year does not mean you're better than us. Money is a materialistic thing. I could care less about money. Yeah, it's nice and I have to have it to keep the house up and to keep my son healthy and clothed. But if I could just like live on a little island, I swear to God, I would never have any money at all.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. A lot of my buddies that have a lot of money do not strike me as happy people. Some of the happiest people I've ever met, some of the most peaceful people I've ever met, don't have very much.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot to worry about. You know what I mean? They're not stressed out about mortgage and bill and this and that. They're grateful for what they have.
Yeah.
Those that are constantly seeking material and constantly seeking the better next thing, that's what they'll always look for.
I've never been materialistic. Maybe years ago I was. I always had to have the name brand clothes. I always had to flaunt this. I had to flaunt my house. I had to flaunt my cars. For what? Why do people do that? I don't understand it. Money is materialistic. Money will not last. But what does last is love, friendship, things like that. Things that matter the most. And I'm going to keep going.
All right.
Like she is so caught up in her own addiction that she can't even see it.
I'm so caught up in my addiction that I can't even see it.
One of the things I've noticed with her as well, if you pay attention, she never actually talks about other people. She only talks about herself.
Mm-hmm.
That became obvious to me, especially when she was trying to tell us that we don't know the rules or whatever. Some people are just like that. They're not able to see anyone else. So that could be an example of that. I don't know that, but that's just what it seems to me.
Yeah.
And she's not even worth talking to at the moment. When she's ready to get sober, she'll get sober. But
okay, when I'm ready to get, yeah, go ahead.
I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. Like, okay, if we were getting high, if she was getting high, we wouldn't be sitting in this freaking house.
No,
I'll tell you that. And she, certain people, honey, are never going to be able to understand that. They just don't understand the lifestyle that comes with addiction for certain people. If I was using, you would not be hearing my voice.
no.
I'd be out there right now getting it. Okay. Sarah's the same. I can't
No,
prove
I
it
was
to you.
hardcore.
I can't. Well, I mean, we can prove it to you through county jail records. We can prove it to you through court documents.
Oh, Lord. Everybody in this community that hates me has pulled up my record. Now tell me.
Yeah. Like I'm going to sit around and no, like I said, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't even be discussing this. We'd be out there getting one.
And man.
People
and
don't
it's
understand
not
that.
just one, Brandon. Like, I can't do things in moderation. Like, I have to go all in, even with food. And I'm trying to work on that so I can better my life and live longer to be healthier. I just don't know how to do things in moderation. I've gotten better throughout the years, but Lord howdy, if I was out there on the streets, man, I'm telling you what, like you wouldn't see me for a week at least. If I was doing drugs, you wouldn't see me.
And not to mention, if we were, the only thing we would be asking for is money.
Yeah.
We would
Yeah.
have nothing else to talk about. We would have some big damn story about this happened and that happened. We really just need $20. Really just need $100.
Yeah.
That would just save our lives. They're not going to understand it, honey, because they've not lived it, and they have
Right.
no reason to go and seek out what that actually looks like. So I think you're always going to run into that with her.
Maybe some of these people need to be humbled. Go into the inner cities and look at people. Just pay attention to people. See how they're struggling. Go to a homeless shelter.
Yeah, go find out what this really looks like, not their depiction of it or what they think it looks like.
I love you, Kimberly Begin.
Yeah, I just don't get that. She keeps saying she'll never get sober. Like, I'd be dead had I not got sober when I did. Like, I wouldn't even be on this planet. That's what I believe, or I'd be locked up somewhere. That's what I believe, and that's what my experience shows. So when she keeps saying she'll never get sober, she's not sober. Like, what do you think this is? Like, what do you think we are? Like, I don't get it. That makes no sense to me. Once again, I don't think she understands what she's talking about.
And why
those are
is
just
she
keywords in recovery.
anticipating? Why is she anticipating my next relapse? Like,
Because
what
she
is
wants
it?
bad for people. She wants bad things to happen because she's that type of person that gets off. Obviously, we've watched her do it with tons of people. She gets off on people's pain or something bad happening for them. She'll deny that.
Oh, she'll get excited. If she hears something about someone in the community that she does not like, she will be the first person to go live and rejoice over it.
Sarah,
I've
honey,
never seen her have any kind of compassion for anyone. And she's the only one I have ever met in my entire life that admits to getting fired for not having empathy. Like, why would you even brag about that?
honey, she can't control you. Thus, she doesn't. She's that type of person. She has to have control of the situation. She has to have control of the narrative. She has to have some level of influence on the person, whatever. And when she can't control them, she don't like them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that's what I've seen.
Yeah,
I
and
could be wrong.
it's obvious. All the people that leave her will say the same thing. They all say that, Brandon. Every one of them. Yeah, now there might be a few that go back to her. Enjoy. I'm not going to sit there and knock it, but when something happens, I will be the first one to say, "I told you so."
I like what Frustrated Lurker said. She only has the power you give her, Sarah.
I know it, and I'm so bad about that. I really liked Laura for a long time, and I gave Laura a lot of money. Okay. And I did not know that she was making fun of my child. I did not know that she was making fun of my wedding ring. I had no idea that she was telling people that I lived in the ghetto. I do not live in the ghetto. Lord.
I do want to say, you putting Trish out there is not fair. You putting TNT out there is not fair. Unless TNT told you, yes, I gave her the drugs, you should not be doing that to TNT.
I absolutely agree with Laura there. She scolded Brian for saying that, and I'm glad she did that. Because TNT had nothing at all to do with my relapse whatsoever. She wasn't even around.
And that's what I mean. She thinks a relapse can be caused by all these other people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She actually believes that, like, someone else can influence someone to relapse.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, like, for someone to make it more difficult for somebody, maybe. But at the end of the day, like, if I believe that other people have caused me to use and drink and it's their fault, I'll never get better. Until it's my disease and my responsibility, I'll stay the same.
Brown.
And that's just a fact. So once again, I don't believe she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, and nobody has the power to cause me to relapse, okay? That's all on me. I didn't choose. I don't know how to explain that. I think there was some things in my life that was so overpowering, I wanted it to stop. I wanted my mind to stop. And, Brandon and I still aren't seeing eye to eye on the fact that my doctor gave me Klonopin. And this is the same doctor that Brandon had to go in when Brandon and I first met and we decided to start dating. Brandon was like, you know what, Sarah, I think you need to be honest with your doctor and let him know that you have an addiction to benzodiazepines. And Brandon went in there and helped me do that. You know, he sat in there with my doctor with me and encouraged me to do that. And I did. Now, this has been about 5-6 years ago. And so there's been some things that have happened in my life the past, month or two, and it got really hard. And that's my fault for not reaching out to my sponsor. That's my fault for not going to meetings. I can't blame anyone else but myself.
No,
And
I think you did the best with what you had. You know what I mean? Once again, and I know we've said this a million times. Do you really want to know why addicts use and why alcoholics drink?
yeah,
Because they're alcoholic. Because they're an addict. Because they have a disease. It's not this outside force. It's within.
yeah,
Every time I drank, it had a lot to do with my alcoholism. It had very little to do with who raised me, how I was raised, how much money we had, where I lived. None of it mattered. I know people that got sober behind a dumpster, and I know people that got sober in the back of a limousine. It don't matter. What matters is that I have this disease. And if I don't do something about it on a daily basis, I was a daily drinker. I drink every day. I shot heroin every day. I have to do things daily in my recovery if I'd like to stay sober. And sometimes we lose sight of that. You used because you're an addict, because that's what addicts do. That's it's not your problem. It was your solution for the problems you had going on within you. It just doesn't, unfortunately, it doesn't work for you anymore.
right.
If it worked, you'd continue, if it worked, you'd continue to do it. But it
Will you
stopped
read
working.
Samantha B's question? She said, good morning, Sarah and Brandon. Quick question. If someone is taking 60 milligrams of Adderall daily, I think it's 80 actually, but I don't know. Isn't that just a cover up in other ways other than being whatever they may have been addicted to?
Yeah, maybe. It might be, it might very well be. When it
If
comes to
they're getting the
prescription,
same effects, then yes. And if they're taking too much medication, then yes.
pharmaceutical medications are such a tough one because everyone's kind of different, and it's such a personal thing with that person and their doctor that there's no real reason to tell. I've had friends that are 30 and 40 years sober they will barely even take ibuprofen. And I know people that are sober a long time that are on a whole
You're one
bunch of
of them.
medication. Yeah. And sometimes I'm like that. I don't like hospitals. I don't like medication. But the deal is that I can show you people that are on a lot of medication that I thought like, oh, they're effed up. They got really good programs. And I could show you people that aren't on any medications that have crappy programs. It's really up to the individual.
Jen,
So,
yes. Wouldn't you say
it's an
so,
upper.
Brandon? It
Oh
absolutely
yeah, it's an
is.
upper. Yeah. Yeah, it's an amphetamine. So it's in the same chemical family as crystal meth. Chemically. I'm not saying those are the same thing. I'm just saying that chemically it's the same family.
Mm-hmm.
Speed. There's a whole list of amphetamines and methamphetamines. Adderall is one of them. Adderall is typically
it's
time
like
release.
legal speed. Absolutely.
Yeah. And she might be abusing it. She might be snorting it. Who knows? Well, we will probably never know.
Yeah, and it's none of our business,
Yeah, it's
but
none of my
what
business.
is our business is when you sit there and insult me and talk about my relapse and predict my next relapse, you're damn right I'm going to talk about it and I'm going to feel some type of way. You can't just sit there and talk about me like that and expect me not to clap back or give you a reaction or response. It does not work that way. Okay, I'm going to keep playing this.
All right.
I would agree with you, but unless I told TNT that I was a pedophile, she should not be out there telling everybody that I'm a pedophile either.
Oh, okay. So supposedly TNT called Brian a PEDO, right? So his way to get back at her is to tell everyone that she's my drug dealer. God, you're such a liar, Brian. You're a piece of shit for that too.
Yeah, but two wrongs don't make a right.
You're right.
And what she said, when did she say that? A long time ago?
No, she was just doing it not too long ago. And I understand. I understand it.
Understand that. But I'm saying that unless you have definitive proof, that's the biggest problem with this community. Look what just happened with Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
And not that Sarah, the other Sarah.
Right.
Molly.
Okay, I'm not going to play much more of that. Laura said, "Let me see. I want to find the part. Hold on."
But some people do stuff like on TNT like that. As I know, TNT hasn't touched pills in a long time, and I speak to her on the phone enough that she's never sounded high. She didn't even sound high when she smoked a pot.
She probably is, and
did you hear Brian? He said she probably is. He doesn't like her, so therefore he's going to think the worst of her. When Laura is sitting right there saying, I've talked to her on the phone and she doesn't sound like she's doing any drugs. I've talked to her and she says that she's been sober a while. But Brian just can't get it through his thick ass head that, you know what, maybe she is sober and I've got this all wrong. But I'm going to continue slandering her because she called me a name. That's what this is. And that's what he does.
I don't know. The one that I knew used Xanax quite a bit. So I don't talk to her.
No, I don't think she does anymore, honestly.
Family, so we're on a different level. And
Don't do anything.
I tell you what, there's nothing worse. Now, I mean, you went through this. Don't do that.
Why would you do that?
Appreciate your advice. You've been doing really good with advice.
Fucking lunatic.
Well, you're not like you were.
Nobody does.
And if she keeps talking about me, I'm going to say, I'm just like anybody else. I'm going to say the meanest, nastiest thing that I can. Right? And I'm not even half as bad as I used to be.
Oh, so if you say something that he doesn't like, he's going to say the meanest, most vile things about you. He's going to lie about you like he did with TNT. TNT is a victim of him. He keeps lying on her. He keeps slandering her, and he's done it to me, and it's bullshit.
How old is Brian?
Brian's in his 50s, and Laura is 50.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
I know, but you just shouldn't put shit like that on TNT.
You know, Laura, I need to ask you a question. You're sitting there defending TNT, but you can't sit there and say, well, maybe Sarah isn't using now. No, you got to say that Sarah doesn't have her head on straight, that she needs to be ignored.
Because she can't have control of the narrative. She has to have control of the narrative. If she doesn't, she's going to go with whatever she believes. We've seen her do this before.
Yeah. You know, nobody's ever going to silence me. If I want to be done with YouTube one day, I'll be done with it. Not because someone ran me off, not because of this or that. It'll be my decision. Just like if I ever choose to take a Xanax again or a Klonopin again, that's my decision. Now, I'm trying to do the best I can to not relapse again. I don't want to die from this. You know, my favorite rapper just died. You know?
It's crazy. It's crazy, ain't it?
Would anybody out there make fun of him for relapsing?
No.
No.
Nope. And every famous rapper you've ever heard of tried to help him.
Yeah.
From Jay-Z to the newest hot rapper tried to talk to him, tried to say, hey, man, come stay with me. He couldn't get it. He couldn't do it.
It's the same as Bam Margera. Everyone has tried to reach out to him. They have put him in rehab facilities for years, paid for, you know, and some people just can't get it, you know, and I don't want to be a statistic. I don't want to die from this. I don't want to relapse again. I'm trying my hardest to do what I need to do to stay sober. And I'm tired as hell of people making fun of me about it. Do you guys make fun of other people when it comes to a relapse? No, y'all just make fun of Sarah because it's funny because y'all hate Sarah, right?
Would they make fun of someone who's had a heart attack?
No.
That's a fatal disease. Addiction's a fatal disease. Would they make someone who had a relapse in diabetes?
No.
You know, I mean, it's that simple. This is a fatal illness, a chronic illness, kills people every day. Moms,
Brandon,
dads, brothers, sisters.
yeah. And you can have all the money in the world and still relapse or be a drug addict. Lord, my ex-husband was how old was he, Brandon? 56?
I think so. Yeah.
He had a full retirement from General Motors, made bank. I'm telling you, he made bank. And he owned 2 homes, had several vehicles, lived out in the country, had a great, great life. But the addiction was too strong and it got him.
He quit going to meetings, hadn't had a
Yeah.
sponsor in a long time, and unfortunately, the drugs were more powerful than he was. And that's
Yeah.
typically the case. With drugs, we think we can handle it. We think we can get a buzz or, nod out whatever we're looking for. And unfortunately, some people finally get what they're looking for. And that's to kind of silence the voices in their head,
Yeah.
silence the pain within their heart. And yeah, we lose people every day. But, today we chose not to do that. We made the choice this morning to try to talk about recovery and just be honest. Like, to me, this whole thing, this whole people saying this and that about you, about us, about recovery, it is so obvious to me that these are people who don't know what they're talking about. And I'm not saying that to be mean, make fun of them. I don't think they're stupid, none of that. And even if I did, it doesn't matter. The reality is that addiction and recovery have been talked about since the 30s and trying to keep people clean to the 12-step way. Maybe it's through therapy or church. And it's not easy. A lot of people don't get it. We were blessed that we've been able to find programs that work for us.
Yeah.
And we have really good lives because of that.
And we have really good people in our lives.
Yes.
And that's what matters, outside of YouTube, we do have people that we do things with, we go to meetings with. Someone I graduated with runs a recovery center, like he literally runs that shit.
Yeah, he's the big boss over there.
Yeah.
And that's one of the more sought after treatment centers in the country and
Makeup
probably
Mobster.
the world.
Makeup Mobster says, my ex died of an overdose after a period of sobriety. I don't find relapse funny at all. And it's not. It's sad. I've lost a mother. I've lost a husband. I've lost countless people in my life because of, relapses or addictions. And do you think I woke up one day and said, you know what? I think I'm going to be an addict. I'm going to be an addict, but I'm going to stop after I'm done. No, that wasn't in the cards for me. I didn't mean to be an addict. I didn't seek out to become addicted to Xanax or heroin or whatever. I wanted to stop, but back then it was so powerful. I couldn't stop. Nobody could get through to my head. No one. I went into several rehabs. As soon as I got out, I used. I wasn't ready. Something huge had to happen to me before I actually got it. And, I went 6 years without touching a drug. And I wish I knew what actually, I don't know. I don't know why people relapse. I don't. I didn't want to relapse. Trust me, I did not want to ruin my marriage. I didn't want my kid to be mad at me. I didn't want to waste as much money as I did because we really screwed up, or I did. I didn't want that to happen. But when you relapse, you don't think of those things. That's not what you think about. You never think about the consequences. You just do it.
Yeah, your brain can only paint the picture of what you consider to be the positive aspects of using.
Yeah, and I think in my mind, okay, this has always been me. Well, I can just take one. I can take one Xanax and I'll just hold on to these other ones and I'll have them for a few days. Nope, that's not how it works. Sarah will eat 10 Xanax bars at a time. Sarah will eat 30 Klonopin at a time and then go to sleep. That's what I do.
Yeah, because that's the buzz we want, is comatose.
Yeah.
That was always the buzz I sought after. I mean, at least by the time I got to the age of about 16 or 17.
And I'm sorry that I'm talking about this, and I'm not trying to trigger anyone. I don't want to trigger anyone, but recovery is something that Brandon and I talk about all the time, and it's a part of who I am. And it's what I like to talk about because honestly, it helps me to be honest and talk about things like this.
Yeah, the therapeutic value of one addict helping another, talking about our stories, our emotions, what we're going through day to day.
Oh, Gretchen the Great, I love you. Hey, Ben. Now, Ben, he's been sober for a while. I'm so unbelievably
That's what
proud
I
of him.
heard. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's a good one, and I'm so proud of Ben. Okay, Samantha says, what's the big difference between Klonopin and Xanax? Well, I will tell you that Klonopin, if I take too many, well, Brandon, you tell her what the difference is.
The only major difference is in terms of
Chemicals.
Yeah, a little bit, but really it's a difference in terms of the impact it has on your brain. Technically, Xanax is a little bit stronger in terms of how it hits you. So, like, you feel more of a buzz from it, I guess you would say. Whereas
Xanax is
Klonopin
stronger.
lasts longer. Yeah,
Yeah,
Xanax is very strong, whereas Klonopin is the same feeling, only it lasts longer, if that makes any sense. The longest acting is actually Valium. Valium lasts for a very long time, but it's not as strong of a feeling once it hits you. Now, if you take
Grandma
20
used
of
to
them,
get those, oh boy, and it had the V in the middle.
oh, I remember
Boy,
those.
howdy.
I ate plenty of those in high school. Oh God.
And
Yeah,
we're
it's
not
not a.
trying to joke about it. It's just, it's a part of our past,
Yeah,
and
it's part of our lives.
we're not going to dwell on it, so we kind of just laugh it off these days. There are times that Brandon and I will sit there and talk about old stories, and we sit there and we're like, wow, did we really do that? Did I really do that? If you look at me, you're not going to say, wow, she's a heroin user. She shoves needles in her arms. Nobody would ever be able to see that unless I told them. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's just who we are. That's how our lives went, and I'm grateful for it. There's times in my life where I look back and I cringe about things I did or things I said, jobs I lost, relationships, whatever. But if I can love me today and be grateful for the life I have today, then I really appreciate those experiences because today I can use them for tools to help somebody else if I can.
Yes. Doodle Brown, thank you, honey. Thank you. Abigail, they gave me Klonopin to sleep, actually. I was so surprised he gave me Klonopin. And I just didn't have the strength, I guess, to tell him no. I don't know. I didn't ask for him. He offered. And I'm sitting there thinking, this doctor has known me since I was 20. And this doctor's actually in the program too. So I was surprised that he gave it to me, but I was just not strong enough to resist it, I guess. I don't know. It's a huge regret. I mean, I don't know if it's a regret. Yeah, it's a regret. I went through a stupid amount of money.
But you learn from it, and like I said, it becomes a tool to help other people. You can now have this experience that you went through. So if someone else goes through it, you're there to help them.
Yeah, and Ash274 says, I take Klonopin when I need it. That must be nice. I wish I knew how to do that. I wish I could take things in moderation. There's a lot of people that just don't get that addiction. What word am I looking for? Some people can take medications and not become addicted to them, not become dependent on them, and not crave them. I wish I was one of those people. I really do, because there are some medications that I need at times and I can't take them because this happens.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are like that. I do. It's not within our chemical makeup.
Amy Lee says, I watched my grandmother detox from Xanax and it wasn't pretty. I salute anyone in recovery.
That's a tough detox.
Yeah. Yes. Seizures. Oh, Lord.
Very dangerous.
Yeah. You know, if you just go cold turkey off of Xanax, you can have a seizure. So many different things can happen. And I'm one that gets seizures every time I stop taking them. Every time. Kimmy C, I love you always too. Maybe one day these other people will actually listen to y'all's words and grow out of their ignorance. Keep doing you. Thank you, Kimmy C. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Frustrated Lurker says that's how it was with benzodiazepine. Never had an issue. Was on them for 17 years. My issue was pain meds.
Yeah, that's a lot of people too, especially these days. They've just become so much more popular. And they're available, you know.
Yeah. And I didn't really want to do a huge bash fest on Laura because she did say something in that live yesterday that actually touched my heart. She actually said, you know, if Sarah ever needed something or if she was without or needed help, I would be there for her. And, you know, as much as Laura and I fight, I saw a little compassion in her. I've never seen that before because Laura absolutely hates me. But for her to say that, that was pretty kind of her to say that. And I would do the same for her. Honestly, I would do that for anyone.
Yeah, of course.
I don't hate Laura. I just don't like some of the things she says and does. And that goes both ways. You know, she doesn't like some of the things I do. But, you know, I do appreciate her for saying that, you know?
Yeah, I respect that.
And then Lisa Jones says, Sarah, when you left the panel, she did tell Brian to back the hell off you. I don't know if you saw that part. I think she said that a couple times. She said that I wasn't in my right frame of mind, and that upset me. I have not taken any type of medication in over a month. I don't know. I'm in my right frame of mind, yes. I mean, what does she think I'm doing? Like secretly using drugs, you know, when I get offline? Am I lying to everybody? Am I still using? I mean, I don't understand why she would say that I'm not in my right frame of mind. I don't know.
I think her experience with all that's just different. She doesn't get it.
Yeah. Bless this mess says hate is a strong word. Yeah, and I don't hate anyone. I just can't, in my heart, I don't have it to hate anyone. I strongly dislike people, though.
Yeah.
Hey, Emerald Girl. I absolutely love Emerald Girl. She is one of the sweetest ladies I have ever had the pleasure of meeting on this platform. And I'm just grateful to call her my friend. So I wanted to throw that out there. But, you know, I wanted Brandon and I to just kind of come and talk because there's been so many rumors. People make fun of me because my husband left me. No, he didn't leave me.
Where am I going to go? To the library, like to the grocery? Like,
well, you went to your mom's for a few days, and that's okay. You know,
mom's for a few days.
We worked it out. We worked it out.
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. I take vows very seriously. I love my wife, you know, whether she makes a good decision or bad decision, or I think she makes a good or bad decision, really doesn't matter. You know, she's got to have her own recovery and do things that are, you know, important to her. And I hope, like she's talked about, and I think she has, turned this into a way to share with others what recovery can be like. Because I guarantee you there's plenty of people out there that have relapsed that'll never talk about it.
Yeah.
They're just too afraid. They're afraid of what people would think, or afraid of people judging them. And I get it. I completely understand. But you were honest. You know, you said, hey, this happened to me. I'm trying to work through it. You know, you let your support group know what was going on with you, and that's life-saving. Because a lot of people don't make it that never say anything.
Yeah.
You know, and that's unfortunate.
You know, there's been people that have reached out to Brandon and I both, and I've never said a word about it, nor will I. There's people out there in this, not community, but platform, that, don't have anyone to turn to. And so, they'll email me and just talk. You have no idea what good can come from just talking to someone, just, venting, getting it off of your chest. It can be so beneficial and helpful.
I love you, Sarah.
I love you, Brandon.
You're
I really
beautiful.
do. Like, I'm really grateful for you. You've helped me so much. And, you're like my sidekick. I don't know what
Yep.
I'd do without you. And
Amen. Amen.
yeah, we've had some rough patches, we have been through a lot. I've lost my grandparents. Brandon was here for that. We lost his dad.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of loss in our family. And I think that has a lot to do with my relapse too, because, when you add depression with someone that's an addict, boy, it's so hard,
It gets magnified.
Yeah.
It becomes strong, very strong.
Oh gosh, I'm a dweller. I'm one of those people that will dwell on things. And I think with me not processing the things that have me so upset or bother me so bad, I think that contributed to the relapse. And
Sure.
those are things that I just don't want to speak about publicly because, it's really personal things that are going on in my family. I've got to find a way to work on that so I don't have to dwell on it, so I can prevent a relapse.
It's what we do every day.
Yeah.
Try to find ways to make sure that we don't put one in us. And that's what we're doing right now.
Ben, keep up the good work, my main man. So proud of you, Ben. I hope you have a great day. I don't see myself as a failure. I see myself as someone that made a mistake and I learned from it. And that's all we can do.
Yeah.
Serenity here. So much respect for your honesty. When we are honest about our stumbles, it truly helps others in recovery. I agree. There was a time that I thought people that lived under a bridge shooting heroin was just pure trash. I did. I was that girl that would lock my doors. And then I became a heroin addict and I understood the struggle. A lot of things changed. Like, I've been humbled more times than I can count. God's grace is the only reason I'm here today.
Yes. Very true for me.
Yeah. But I know that it's going on an hour now, and I don't want to keep going on and on and on. I didn't really mean to just drag Laura as much as I did, but boy, she really gets under my skin. The serenity prayer is something that helps me sometimes. Abigail, me too. I recite that in my head every night. Yeah. What's your plans today, Brandon?
I'm going to take it easy. I really am. My stomach hurts. I got to take something for my stomach. I don't know what's going on. Probably something I ate last night.
Protonics.
That's what I'm going to take.
Are you trying to say that my spaghetti gave you?
Oh, it was not your spaghetti. Trust that. I'm trying to think what I ate. I can't remember.
My spaghetti.
No, I had other things than that, but spaghetti was outstanding. The feta cheese and the seasoning. And
oh yeah, you guys, I put so I put Italian dressing in my spaghetti. I did my meatballs in my sauce, and I put feta cheese in it. Holy Snapple.
Outstanding.
It was good.
Outstanding.
Like, it was artery clogging good.
I loved it.
And did you see I did a concoction. I took these rolls. I cut them in half. Yeah, I didn't serve them to you guys because
I
I
had
fed
one.
them.
I had
Oh,
one.
did you? I fed them
They
to
were
the
good.
dogs this morning.
They were good.
So I got this great idea that I would take these rolls, cut them in half, put some butter on them, and some garlic and salt. Well, I burnt them. Oops.
They weren't burnt bad, just barely. Just barely.
Well, I forgot about them. My bad.
They were great.
Okay, Sin says, Sarah, I told you where to go. Okay, I told you I relapsed after 15 years sobriety, going on 3 years now, and Randy was the only one that noticed. She kicked my ass, and I got sober. Friends like Randy, like you, can make a huge difference. You know what? Randy is a good friend to have, Sin, and you are such a beautiful soul. I think I'm struggling a little bit with, being sober for 6 years and then now having to start it all over again. I'm kind of struggling with that, and I'm kicking my own ass because I wanted to see 10 years. I wanted that coin.
It still exists.
It does, and this is a new start. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I definitely think things are going to be different this time. I've had to change it. I had to tweak a few things, but we got this. Hey, Rep Ash, how are you doing, hon? Sin is very pretty. She's a gorgeous lady. Hey, Bodie Blue, how are you? I don't know. I'm just rambling now, but I really appreciate you guys for coming in here and listening to us. And I appreciate everybody that supports us. I'm grateful for you guys, and I'm grateful that you want to be a part of us. Honestly, I really am. So
I don't think you guys realize how great of a thing you have. That you guys get together and talk like this, and it's really a beautiful thing. And I'm very
Brandon,
grateful
it's
for
like a family. I'm telling you what.
I know.
Yeah, like this is my other family. Like there's people in this community that I am so unbelievably close to that I get to talk to on a daily basis. And I don't know what I would do without them, honestly. I'm very grateful for them.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And I thank you guys also for just listening to us and playing along. I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's great. Is Mac 11 in here? Mac 11, I love you, lady. Okay, frustrated lurker says, have a great day, Sarah. You have a great day too. Serenity here. I support you as well, my friend. Hey, Jay Warren. Okay, you guys, we're going to jump off here. It's been a little over an hour. I hope you all have a fabulous day and see you around.
Bye.
Toodles. Oh, crap. How do I get out of here?